I'm going to try to keep it together as best as I possibly can for this video, but I started YouTube 6 years ago. And one of the main reasons why I started in the first place is because I wanted to have a place where I could document my life, where I could document my thoughts publicly for other people to see, but also for me, so I could look back and remember the different phases of my life that I had gone through, because every single time I go back, I hear my opinions, I hear my thoughts, I hear my takes on things, but I also just am flooded with memories of how I felt during that exact time when I made that specific video. I remember all of the emotions, I remember everything that was going on during that time, and this video is going to be for that exact same purpose. If you are somebody that watches my content very regularly, you might watch through this video all the way. Most people are going to find this video incredibly boring, and that's okay. The point of this video is not to get a lot of views. The point of this video is for me to speak my mind about a very interesting situation that just happened this morning. I was hopping on an exit call with someone who was leaving my fitness coaching program. I work with my fitness coaching clients for about 6 months before I send them on their way, or they can ultimately decide whether or not they want to continue working with me. And the young man that I'd been working with, that I was doing this exit call with, I've been working with him for the past 6 months, and not a lot of young men can afford my coaching, and that's something that I understand because I only have a certain number of slots available and it's priced accordingly. But I remember when this guy first came into my program, number one, I was surprised, as I am with a lot of younger guys, because they're willing to make a financial investment to work with me one-on-one. But then at the same time, I noticed that he was closed off when he first came into my coaching. He didn't open up very much. He didn't tell me very much. I remember hopping on calls with him and just thinking, you know, is there anything else you want to tell me? Is there anything else you want to talk about? Like, are there any other questions that you have? And as the months went on, you know, he lost a substantial amount of fat. He got abs. He put on a ton of muscle. Overall, he's just in an awesome position now, physically. But as time went on, he also started to open up with me a lot more about his situation. He used to start telling me things that he definitely wouldn't have told me our first couple weeks working together. And during this exit call, where I'm sort of sending him on his way, you know, he can't afford to work with me, you know, anymore, and that's okay. He really opened up to me, and he told me, he said, Brandon, when I first started working with you for fitness coaching, I was pretty much dead set on ending it all, on unaliving myself. And I didn't know this. This is something he had not told me. He said, I had shaved my head when I first came to you, and I remembered that. I'm like, yeah, he did come to me with a shaved head. He said, my grandfather had just died, and I was completely lost. He said, I didn't feel like I had a purpose at all in life. I felt like I didn't know what to do. I was in a ton of anguish from someone close to me and his family passing, but at the same time, he was also going through a heartbreak. So two things, two of the most difficult things that you can go through as a man. He was experiencing both of them at the same time. He had shaved his head, because he didn't care about anything. He told me he felt like he was like becoming a monk by shaving his head. He felt like he had like no reason to live, and that he was just existing at that point. And yet he decided to apply for my coaching. He decided to sign up for my coaching, which was an expensive endeavor, you know, in order to work with me one-on-one, like I said earlier. But he decided to do it. He's like, hey, I don't have anything else to lose. He's like, I might as well work with this guy that I feel is very, very inspirational. I feel like through his content, he's speaking into my life. I might as well try to talk with this guy and get some one-on-one time with him. I've got nothing else to lose. And he told me on our call, he said, Brandon, he said, I feel like I have a purpose now. He said, I feel like you've given me this sense of purpose and a mission to go out and to do what I need to do. I asked him, I said, are you still in a situation where you would ever consider unaliving yourself anymore? He said, no. He said, not at all. He says, now I feel like I have something to live for. I have something to do. I have something to progress in, thanks to fitness. And at the end of the day, guys, that's always been my goal. A lot of people will say, oh, dude, it's just fitness coaching. Or people will say, oh, dude, it's just fitness. Like, it's not that deep. But the main reason why I wanted to make this video is because it really hit me like square in the heart, because I really remembered just how much fitness had dragged me out of a fucking hellhole at multiple times in my life before. Like times when I felt exactly the way that this young man did. Like life wasn't worth living. Like I didn't have a purpose. Fitness was what kept me going. Fitness was what helped me continue to progress. And if you watch my channel regularly, you'll know that I'm a Christian, and that I think that a relationship with God, a relationship with Jesus, is incredibly important. It's foundational to a man's existence. And I want to emphasize that and say that is a huge component. But the whole reason why I started fitness coaching in the first place was because fitness is much more palatable for people. Like I feel like I can speak into the lives of the average man without them feeling like I'm shoving God and shoving Jesus down their throat. Like that's the last way that I want to come off in my videos. That's never been my purpose. I don't want to turn people away because I'm just constantly like, oh, like just go to Jesus, just go to God. Fitness coaching is a way that I can show every man, hey, there is purpose and there is a chance for you to progress. There is a chance for you to work towards something in bettering your body and learning to control the way that your body looks, and being consistent and showing up every single day and putting in the work and receiving the positive benefits that come with it, the endorphins, the positive mental aspects. I mean, for crying out loud, I reference this study all the time, but fitness is 1.5 times more effective than medication or therapy for men. And that is ultimately why I chose fitness to be my vehicle, is because it's something that kept me going through all of these incredibly dark times, and it showed me that there was something worth living for, and that there's a purpose in your work, in your existence. And even though things are hard, even though it can feel uncomfortable at times, even though a lot of times you don't want to do it, when you keep showing up, you can become something completely different. You can transform your body and you can transform your mind at the same time. And that's exactly what this young man told me. Is he said, Brandon, I feel like a completely different person than when I first started. He said, I still experience the shit that I have to go through every single day. Like, as a man, I have challenges that I have to face, but now there's purpose in my suffering. There's purpose in the difficulty that I run into. And now I don't feel this emptiness. It feels like there's more. It's pointing me to something. And that's exactly how I think that every man should feel. And I wish that for every single man, you know, especially the young men out there, because men will go through this transformative period in their life at different times in their life. You know, not every man goes through it in their late teens, early 20s like I did. Some men are going to experience that later in life. But the truth is, every man is going to experience it. Every man is going to experience a lot of heartbreak. Every man is going to experience like terribly hard things in their life. And during Men's Mental Health Month, it just constantly reminds me of how a lot of men choose their way out. And they decide, hey, this just isn't worth it anymore. It's just not worth it. The suffering isn't panning out to anything because they don't see the suffering for what it truly is. Benefiting them, allowing them to grow, giving them the opportunity to become better. Instead, men get wrapped up in wanting to escape. They want to escape the filth. They want to just get out of it as soon as possible. And what I'll say is that when you live with purpose and when you start seeing life through this new lens, it completely changes your perspective. It makes life feel like it's so much worth living. And you do start to feel better. Like, I have felt so terrible at points in my life. And during those points, I'm like, is this what just the rest of my existence is going to feel like? Well, the answer is no. If you can continue to pursue your purpose, if you can continue to search for your calling, if you can hang on to your values until blood drips from your hands, like, life gets a lot better. Life gets a lot better. You know, it's one of the reasons why I chose to talk about how I'm a virgin, and one of the reasons why I decided to make that public. Like, a lot of people tell me, they're like, I can't believe that you talk about the type of stuff that you do, whether it's on YouTube or on Instagram. They say, I can't believe that you talk about stuff like that. But the reason why I decided to talk about that publicly is because I feel like it's a way where I'm living out something that is incredibly difficult for me to do, but at the same time, it's because life feels so much more worth living when I stick my flag in the sand, when I decide, hey, this is what I'm going to do and I'm going to stick to it. You feel so in congruence as a man. You feel like you are in line with what you are supposed to be doing. You feel closer to your Creator because you are working hard towards something, and you are dying to yourself every single day, dying to your desires, to the things that you actually want to do. And life feels so much better. But so many people think that living life according to whatever you want to do is the key to freedom and the key to life getting better, but they just end up going further and further down the rabbit hole, trying to escape, using weed, using alcohol, chasing meaningless sex. It's not the way out. It's not the way out at all. And you have to become a different person. Just like this young man told me in our exit call, said, Brandon, I feel like a completely different person. I know what values I need to stick to. I know how I need to be viewing my life and how I need to be viewing my suffering. And I'm going to continue making progress. I'm going to continue striving to become the best version of myself that I possibly can every single day, even though it's a battle, even though it's a war. It feels like a never-ending war. I'm going to continue to do it. So that is why I started this channel in the first place. That's why I started my coaching. And I wanted to make this video just to really remind myself in the future of why I really did start this and how much more it is than just making money for me, being successful, and ultimately getting people in shape, because it goes a lot deeper than that. When a man feels in line with his calling, life is so much better, even if it's a pain to hold on to those values. I want to be as authentic as I possibly can to help the other men, younger men out there. Like, I know that a lot of young men don't practice celibacy, even in Christian circles. I want you guys to know that that's a sacrifice, that if you start making it, if you start living according to what you know that you need to do, according to what you know is good, you will feel so much more fulfilled. Even if the world laughs at you, even if the world treats you differently, even if they look at you weird, like, hold on to those values, become a different person, like, transform yourself into someone new. And that requires dying to the old self every single day. So I hope this video helps some of you guys out. I hope that some of you guys, through just watching my YouTube videos, you know, I get amazing DMs from you guys every single day, and you guys tell me that you've been through similar struggles and that my content has helped you out in various ways. That's all I want from it. That's why I made it in the first place. So, without anything else to say, I will go ahead and end it there. And I will see you guys all in the next video, which will be a bit more of a professional one.